Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving into a story that's probably going to make your jaw drop. You know, we all have those little neighborly quirks we tolerate, maybe a loud party here, an unkempt lawn there. But what happens when things escalate way beyond a minor annoyance and cross a serious line? That's exactly what happened to me. This isn't just about a petty dispute. This is about my mail being stolen, and how it led to my neighbor getting arrested. Buckle up, because this is a wild ride. So, let's set the scene. I moved into this lovely, quiet suburban neighborhood a couple of years ago. Everything was great. People waved, kids played outside. Classic idyllic stuff. My next-door neighbor, let's call her Karen, seemed perfectly normal at first. She was a bit nosy, maybe, but I just chalked it up to being friendly and wanting to know what was happening around her. She'd always be out gardening, which meant she had a pretty good view of everyone's comings and goings. I didn't think much of it then, but little did I know, that vantage point would become very relevant later. The first hint that something was off began subtly, almost imperceptibly. I started noticing that some of my mail wasn't showing up. Not the junk mail, mind you, but important stuff. Bank statements, utility bills, even a package or two that tracking said had been delivered. At first, I blamed the post office, or maybe just general mail chaos. You know how it is, things get lost, I'd call the companies, ask for replacements, and move on. It was annoying, but not alarming. But then it started happening more frequently. And it wasn't just bills anymore. I was waiting on some important documents for a new job, and they just vanished. A birthday card from my aunt, nowhere to be found. This wasn't just random chance anymore. It felt deliberate. I started getting that unsettling feeling in my gut, like something was genuinely wrong. I live in a house with a locked mailbox, and the postman always uses the key. Packages were usually left on the porch, but the missing items weren't just porch packages. It was stuff that should have been asterisk and asterisk the mailbox. My first thought was, is someone targeting me? My mind went through all the possibilities. Was it a random thief? Was it someone I knew? The more I thought about it, the more I realized it had to be someone close, someone who had regular access or proximity to my mailbox without looking suspicious. And that's when Karen, with her ever-present gardening gloves and watchful eyes, popped into my head. I dismissed it at first. No way, right, that's a huge leap. She's just a friendly neighbor. But the seed of doubt was planted. I started paying closer attention. I'd watch for the mail truck, and then discreetly keep an eye on my mailbox afterward. I even set up a small, discreet security camera pointed at my porch, which also had a partial view of my mailbox. I wasn't trying to catch anyone in the act initially. I just wanted proof for the post office that my mail wasn't making it to me, or to see if a stranger was snatching it. Days turned into a week, then two. The camera didn't catch anyone suspicious. My mail still went missing. Then one afternoon, I was working from home, and I saw the mail truck come and go. A few minutes later, I happened to glance out my window, and there she was, Karen, watering her plants, as usual. But this time, I saw her casually stroll over to my asterisk mailbox, open it, pull out a stack of letters, and then, as if she were checking her own mail, she just walked back to her house. My heart just dropped. I was in shock. Disbelief. I rewound the camera footage immediately, and there it was, clear as day. Not just once, but I saw her on a few different occasions, opening my mailbox, taking things, and walking away. My friendly neighbor, my nosy Karen, was stealing my mail. This wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a misdelivery. It was intentional, repeated theft. My blood ran cold when I saw the footage. All those missing bills, those important documents, that birthday card, it all clicked into place. I felt a mix of anger, betrayal, and genuine fear. What was she doing with my mail? Identity theft was a huge concern, of course, but it was also the sheer audacity and invasion of privacy. I knew I couldn't confront her directly. What would I say? Hey Karen, I saw you stealing my mail on my security camera. That would just escalate things in a way I wasn't prepared for. I needed to handle this properly and legally. So, I did what anyone should do in that situation. I called the police. Specifically, I called the non-emergency line first, explaining the situation and my evidence. They transferred me to a postal inspector, as mail theft is a federal offense. This wasn't just a local police matter. It was serious. The postal inspector was incredibly helpful and understanding. They advised me not to confront Karen, to continue collecting evidence, and to let them handle it. They explained that mail theft is no joke, and they take it very seriously. Over the next few days, I continued to document everything. I made copies of the video footage. I compiled a list of all the missing mail I could remember. I double-checked my credit reports, just in case. The postal inspector kept in touch, letting me know they were investigating. It was a tense time. Every time I saw Karen outside, I felt a knot in my stomach. She would wave, smile, act like nothing was amiss, and I would just force a polite smile back, knowing what I knew. Then, about a week later, it happened. I was at home when I heard sirens. Not just one, but 2 police cars, and an unmarked car, pull up to Karen's house. I watched from my window, heart pounding. The postal inspector, along with local police officers, went to her door. After a few minutes, they emerged, and Karen was with them. She was handcuffed. She looked distraught, confused, and as they led her to the police car, she glanced over at my house. Our eyes met for a brief second, and in that moment, I think she knew I knew. It was a surreal and incredibly uncomfortable moment, but also a moment of immense relief. It turns out she had been hoarding the mail. They found a stash of my letters, and mail from other neighbors too, in her house. It wasn't identity theft, thankfully, but it was still mail theft, and a serious breach of privacy. She was arrested and charged. The details of her case aren't entirely public, but I know she faced significant legal consequences. The neighborhood was, understandably, in a bit of a shock. No one expected friendly Karen to be the neighborhood mail thief. This whole experience was a huge wake-up call for me. It taught me that sometimes, the biggest threats can come from the most unexpected places. It also reinforced the importance of trusting your gut instinct and having security measures in place. A simple camera, which I initially installed for a different reason, ended up being crucial in resolving a very serious situation, and it definitely taught me that some neighborly disputes require a firm, legal response, especially when they cross into criminal territory. So, what's the takeaway here? Always be vigilant about your mail. Consider getting a locking mailbox if you don't have one. Invest in some basic home security, even just a doorbell camera or a small outdoor cam, because you never know when it might save you from a major headache. And most importantly, if something feels off, investigate it. Don't dismiss your instincts. This was a tough lesson to learn, but I'm sharing it in the hope that it might help someone else avoid a similar situation. It's been a journey, and while things are much calmer now, it definitely changed my perspective on neighborhood dynamics. I'm much more cautious, but I also feel safer knowing I stood up for myself. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. If you found this helpful, or if you have any crazy neighbor stories of your own, please drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more real-life stories and advice. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.